Board's study session on One Team, One Dream Pasco School District's Choice High Schools. It is 4:30 and I welcome the school board, our student representatives, and all those in attendance. Thank you for being here today. We are going to hear about our Choice High Schools, and today, to start off our presentation, Seth Johnson will be addressing us.
Thank you, and good afternoon, Board President Brown, Superintendent Whitney, and members of the board. We are excited to have the opportunity to share information about the Choice High School options in the Pasco School District. So tonight, I have with me, well, first off, I'm Seth Johnson. I'm the planning principal and the future principal of Orion High School, and I have with me Casey Benyon, our principal from Delta High School, and Becky Hitchman, our principal from New Horizons High School. We're going to have some awesome opportunities to share information about our high schools and the great work that we're doing here. At previous study sessions, you've heard from our comprehensive high school principals and others that have shared the One Team, One Dream efforts that are taking place to align the work being done across our district at the high school level. Today, we will add an additional layer of information regarding the Choice High Schools in Pasco. Choice High Schools can offer a unique approach to education. Our purpose today is to highlight each Choice High School and provide an overview on how our Choice High Schools are similar and how they are unique. This presentation should be informative to students and families that are looking at what options they have for high school. By providing a description of each choice program, students and family will have the information needed to guide decision-making for their high school experience. We will also provide an explanation of how to apply and enroll in each of our schools. There are several key characteristics that each Choice High School share in common. Each school is considerably smaller than our comprehensive high schools, with enrollments that range from around 300 to 600 students looking for a smaller environment will find that at each of our Choice High Schools. They are available to all students and have an application or lottery-based enrollment process. Each of our Choice High Schools offer career-connected learning opportunities, and these will be discussed as we share more about our individual schools. Student involvement is a priority at each of our Choice High Schools. Each offer clubs and extracurricular activities. However, we do not offer athletics or music programs, but work to provide these opportunities for students to participate in these activities at their boundary high schools. Each Choice High School provides flexible learning environments to meet the needs of their students, and we will share some of what that looks like as we dive deeper into each school. So I have the opportunity to go first and share some information about Orion High School. And as the planning principal, I'm really excited to be in front of you today to share information on the progress being made to be ready for the opening of Orion here in August. Last spring, we selected our planning team for Orion. They are a dedicated group that are doing amazing work in building the program that we will be offering at this innovative high school. Early in our process, we spent time to create the vision and develop the mission for Orion High School. This work involved a collaborative approach that involved each of our team members. And this is the product of their efforts. Inspiring Orion aviators to be curious, creative, and driven learners who pilot changes resulting in positive impacts in our community. I am proud of the work our planning team has done, and I believe that the mission statement captures the work that we will do at Orion High School. And more importantly, I can see the fingerprints of each of our planning team members on this outcome, and it was an honor to be able to lead this process and watch our team struggle and grow together as we created our mission. Orion High School is a choice high school that will open this fall and will be an option for current 8th graders next year's freshman class. Originally advertised as a small, innovative high school, then referred to as the Career and College Academy, Orion will be a career-focused high school. Early in the planning stages for Orion, we began to engage with a variety of our community partners. Through this process, we developed a focus on health sciences, engineering, and advanced manufacturing. The goal of Orion is to prepare students for future careers while also ensuring the future workforce our community needs is being developed. By starting with identifying our community needs and where potential opportunities for Orion graduates exist, we are improving upon the bridge that connects K-12 education and our community's workforce. As a career-focused high school, Orion will enable students to complete post-secondary entrance exams or post-secondary entrance requirements while exposing them to a vertical segment of the occupations within a particular career field, encouraging them to aim as high as they wish. Our goal is to connect students with career pathways to high-demand, high-wage careers that includes jobs with a variety of educational and experience requirements. In order to do this effectively, students at Orion will experience a 2+2 approach to their educational experience. The first 2 years, which we refer to as the concourse years, will be focused on career exposure and exploration. This past week, I've had the opportunity to present and share Orion's offerings with students at Reynolds and McLaughlin Middle Schools. I will be at Stevens and Ochoa next. As I engage with students and ask about careers in health sciences, they assume 2 careers or 2 jobs every time I ask about health sciences, a doctor and a nurse. And we know there are a lot more opportunities in the health sciences than just those 2 jobs. What I love about the signature programs at Orion is that there's a wide range of career opportunities that vary from experience in industry certifications that are attainable as a high school students to careers that require advanced degrees. As part of the concourse years, students will have the opportunity to be exposed to and explore a wide range of careers. We are currently working with community partners like Lourdes Medical Network, Bechtel, Benton Franklin Health District, and others to create hands-on experiences for students to introduce them to the many opportunities within the industries represented by our signature programs. Along with deep and rich career exploration through our Aviator 101 program, students make progress towards earning their diploma in an interdisciplinary, problem-based environment. The Orion planning team is currently hard at work building these experiences and determining what they will look like and focusing specifically on providing these opportunities for our incoming freshmen. Following the concourse of the 9th and 10th grade years, students will then move into the runway years. At this point, students will have the chance to explore a wide range of careers. The runway years are about pursuing these opportunities. Just like when you fly, the concourse is a fairly uniform experience. However, the plane you board and the runway it takes off from has a large number of potential destinations. The runway years shift away from exposure and exploration and move into education and experience. It's during these years that the goal is for students to only spend half of their day at Orion and the other half of the day experiencing and gaining education and training needed to take off in their future careers. This can look very different for students and depending upon their runway. For some, it may mean internships, work-based learning, and gaining valuable hands-on experience on a job site. For others, it may mean internships. For others, it may mean running START, TriTech, CBC, WSU Tri-Cities to pursue industry certification or college credits. For all, Orion will be a place where they gain meaningful progress down their selected runway and prepare to launch into their futures. In order to best prepare students to take advantage of the opportunities during their concourse and runway years, Orion will implement an innovative approach at teaching students. Orion will operate as a mastery-based learning school where the ability to demonstrate mastery of standards and skills will be what leads them down their runway towards high school graduation. Over the last year and a half as the planning principal, I've been fortunate to be able to visit and research many different innovative programs. Some I was very impressed with. Others seem to lack clearly defined purpose, and that lack of purpose and clarity got in the way of their program's success. After reflecting on the importance of a program's purpose and identity, we identified Orion's propellers. These represent the fundamental work that will take place at Orion and be used as a navigation system in ensuring that our program is providing the right opportunities for students to be able to arrive at their post-secondary destination. They include interdisciplinary, problem-based learning. Our team has been hard at work designing what the student experience will look like from an instructional standpoint. They are currently developing an interdisciplinary problem-based learning approach. This will mean students will work in a highly collaborative environment where instruction will include multiple subjects and projects will be used to learn and demonstrate learning across more than one subject. Our teams will have common planning in order to sustain this approach and will collaborate around ensuring students have the opportunities to learn and master standards through the projects that they design. Rather than a traditional 5 or 6 period daily schedule, Orion students will have an AM block and a PM block, one in which they focus on their core academics, and the other that will be more based on the concourse goals of career exposure and exploration, or the runway goals of pursuing their individual pathway. Design thinking. Design thinking the design process is important in training students to be solution-oriented. It is the process that is critical to the success of a student that is pursuing a future in health sciences or in production. Design thinking encourages students to think critically and explore solutions to complex problems. It is the approach that will guide our problem-based learning. Student learning will be driven by seeking solutions to current real-world problems. Career-connected learning. As a career-focused high school, student experience will follow the career-connected learning continuum. From exposure and exploration during the concourse years to education and experience during the runway years, the learning at Orion will be geared to prepare students for their future careers. There will be an emphasis on developing durable and technology skills that are needed. The goal with all things at Orion is preparing students for their future career. And entrepreneurship. The research is clear that our current students have a great interest in developing their own business opportunities. While we know not everybody will be able to launch their own, the skill of thinking like an entrepreneur provides value to any future employee. These 4 propellers are what will provide the ability for Orion to deliver the right opportunities for our students. I am excited to see the progress of our programs, the progress of our building, and the progress being made as we recruit future aviators. Can't wait to open the doors to our beautiful school in August. With that, I'm going to pass things off to Principal Benyon.
Good afternoon, Pasco School Board. I am so thankful to be here. My name is Casey Benyon. I'm the principal at Delta High School. I have been with the Pasco School District for 30 years and have loved every job I've ever had, but this one's very special to me. I've been the principal for the last 3 years at Delta, and I am just blessed to get to work with amazing students and teachers every day. So with that, let's talk a little bit about Delta. So we are different. Actually, our motto is think differently. So okay, there we go. I just want to make sure they're both on the same thing. So our mission at Delta is to cultivate critical thinkers with strong character, immersed in STEM, and engaged in their community. And I'll talk a little bit about how we weave that mission into everything we do. So we are a small, integrated, and personalized high school out on Road 100. If you haven't been out there, we'd love to welcome you anytime to come visit us. I have students that give tours often. So we attract a broad spectrum of students who are immersed in STEM learning experiences. So we are a school that has a bell schedule. Our students go to 5 classes a day, so a little bit different when we talk about the similarities and the differences of Orion and Delta. They will, some days, though, they go to 4 classes a day. So their schedules rotate depending on how much time teachers and students might need for different project work. So we prepare students to succeed in post-secondary education, careers, and citizenship. So a major part of our day is advisory curriculum. So besides English, math, science, and history, and CTE electives, you will also meet with a teacher and talk about the skills that you need to be successful other than your academics when you go out into the world of work. We offer an innovative learning approach that emphasizes collaboration, inquiry, and problem solving, while expanding knowledge through partnerships that connect academics to real-world applications. So a little bit about Delta. How many of you are familiar with our building and maybe perfect, thank you. So we were actually thinking differently back in 2007 and 8. There were a group of STEM professionals who thought, wouldn't it be cool if Richland, Pasco, and Kennewick could have a small high school that focused on STEM? And so the 3 superintendents got together, much hard work, and created Delta High School. Even though we are called Delta High School, we're actually a program, and I will explain how that works as we go on. Pasco School District is the fiscal agent for Delta and supports all of our IT. But we have our own budget that comes from all of the 3 school districts. The teachers and the students are also from all 3 districts. And students will earn their diploma from their home high schools. So all of our students are Deltonians, and they are also members of Pasco, Chiawana, Richland, Hanford, Kennewick, Mican, and Southridge. So Delta High School is a 4-year program. We're on the trimester schedule. The reason that program is important is you can't go to OSPI and search up Delta High School because our students are Chiawana students, Pasco High students, and so we're not as easy to find on the OSPI website. We do have a robust advisory program. Our students meet with an advisor 2 to 3 times a week for quite a few hours a week to talk about all of the things getting them ready for life after high school. All students attend similar courses through their junior year. 9th and 10th grade is pretty similar for them. They have a few choices, but for the most part, then more electives are available to them in the junior and the senior year. We have a robust college in the high school and Running Start collaboration. So almost all of our teachers are certified to teach college in the high school for at least 1 class or more. We have a goal at Delta that all of our students will take a college class every year. And we're very close to meeting that at 100% with our students. So it's a rigorous opportunity for students to earn their academics. We have a partnership with CBC that allows students to take all the college and the high school classes that they can, 1 Running Start class each trimester in their junior and senior year, and earn their AA degree. So they never leave our building, and they can earn their AA degree from CBC. We use standards-based grading, so the 4-3-2-1 model, or not yet model, is what we use for evaluating our students and their learning. We are project-based learning, meaning that my math teacher works with the English teacher and the science teacher in the 9th grade to develop this amazing opportunity for kids to solve a problem or to integrate all of those 3 contents together for kids to do projects. And then each trimester, then we have a showcase night where kids get to showcase their learning to their parents. Work-based learning credits. So most of our students, by the time they graduate, will have done some kind of work-based learning. We have lots of partnerships with companies out in the area, and our kids will leave at the end of the day and go get some experience in the career that might, it either turns them on or turns them off to deciding if that's what they want to do in college or if that's what they want to focus on. Students will attend their home high school for athletics and visual and performing arts. So we do start at 8:30 every day, which means our kids have the option to go to 0 hours and take music classes if they want to. That we do have students that go back to their home high school in the afternoon for athletics, and we have quite a few students that participate in marching band. So here's just a little bit of a visual that shows the similarities and the differences. I think Mr. Johnson and I both covered. So number one, we're lottery based. So the way you get in is you have to submit an application. We're both post-secondary focused. So our goal is preparing them for life after high school. And we will both have a lot of project-based learning opportunities. At Delta, we are more of a rigorous STEM program, so the entire STEM careers, where at Orion, they're focused on health sciences and engineering and manufacturing. We have a lot of focus at Delta on gearing students on careers that require post-secondary degrees, and the students can earn their AA while staying at Delta. And then at Orion, Mr. Johnson talked about the difference in the core block and the career block, the morning and the afternoon blocks for students to take. And the emphasis on exposure and exploration, then developing their individualized pathways as they get into the 11th and 12th grade year. And with that, I will introduce our amazing Becky Hitchman.
All right, good afternoon. Very excited to be here to share with you about our wonderful, my wonderful school, New Horizons High School. Once again, I'm Becky Hitchman. I'm the proud principal of this school, and I just want to share a little bit about this wonderful building. So at New Horizons, we believe every student has unique strengths and potential waiting to be unlocked. Our wonderful high school offers a personalized, supportive learning environment where our amazing students thrive. Our staff are driven to educate and share and serve our students to meet them where they are. We focus on flexibility, multiple means of learning, and emotional support. We empower our students to take control of their education and build the skills needed to succeed in life, college, and careers. Those are the things that we focus on in our school. This year, I'm really proud to say we decided it was time to revisit our mission statement. So this is a brand new mission statement for our school. So we did this as a collaboration with our entire staff, and we really took some time to think about what is our purpose at New Horizons. And so our mission, our new mission is at New Horizons High School, we inspire growth in a supportive, personalized environment where every student can thrive, build positive relationships, and achieve success in college, careers, and beyond. And I think if you were to visit our school, you would see this happening every single day in our school and in our classrooms. So very proud of that work that we've done this year. So I'm going to kind of pull out one of our unique programs at New Horizons. We do offer a virtual high school option in our building. And so I just kind of want to talk about what that looks like, because it's a little bit different than our in-person model. So our virtual high school is open to students in 9th through 12th grade. And students attend class via Zoom. And they do follow our bell schedule, the same exact bell schedule as our in-person students do. So they're expected to attend class, be there, and work with their teachers throughout the entire class period. And teachers do meet with the students daily, and they're there and available to help support them through all of the high school classes and coursework that they take. We do follow a quarter schedule, so that's a little bit different. So our students earn high school credit at the quarter, and they have 4 class periods a day, which is also a little bit different than our other high schools. Our students say that really does help them focus on, just a smaller number of classes each day to earn those credits. So, and our teachers have a little bit more time with our students to be able to cover all of the standards that are needed in that time frame. We also work in a mastery-based learning model like the other choice high schools do. And classes are offered in a high flex model with the ability for students to accelerate. Let me just explain a little bit about what high flex means, because some people are kind of like, they may not be familiar with that term. The way we define high flex is students display mastery of learning based on the identified standards that the teachers have pulled out that they are required to learn. And once mastery is displayed, they continue on in their coursework. This means students are able to pace their learning, whether they need more time. If you need some extra time to finish or to learn a standard, that's okay. They can take that time that's needed. Or students are able to accelerate. We have a lot of students that are able to finish classes in a much faster pace because of the fact that, like, I know how to do this, I can show I understand it, and then they can move on in the coursework. Or they can pace to finish within the time frame of the course within the quarter. So it's kind of like whatever learning model works best for them. Teachers provide the materials in our learning platform so that students can access at any time. So this would involve videos at times to support learning. And all of their coursework is within that learning platform for them to go and work at their own pace and access it at any time. So if they do miss school, our students are able to continue with their schoolwork if they aren't able to attend school for any number of reasons. And we also, one thing that's really unique about our HighFlex model is students do not need to start classes over. So if I've shown mastery of standards and I have to miss school for a little while, when I come back, I just pick up where I left off. I don't have to like start the whole class all over again, which is really a nice flexible option for our students too. And it helps meet the needs of our students who might not be able to attend school every single day for a variety of reasons, so. Now I'm going to focus on our in-person schooling, and basically the difference here for in-person students versus our virtual option is that our in-person program focuses on 11th and 12th graders primarily, and we're focused on credit retrieval. So we're working with students who, for whatever reason, may have gotten behind in their credit retrieval, and we're working on closing the gap. One thing I did want to mention here is oftentimes I think alternative high schools are misunderstood. That we only have students with high levels of concern that come to our school, but our students come to New Horizons and choose to be there working toward a brighter future. I can tell you for every student that attends New Horizons, they each have a different story to share about what brought them to our school. So they are looking for an opportunity to learn, expand their horizons, usually in a smaller setting. That usually works very well for them. And they are amazing people. And one of the things that's really important at our school is ensuring that we have student voice and we talk to our students about what works for them. And here are a few quotes that I got from our students about their perception of our school. They tell us it's very inclusive. This is the first time I've actually enjoyed going to school. This school takes care of kids and provides opportunities and options. Teachers care and help with the goal of graduation, and it's welcoming and small. And many times when I talk to students, these are the things that I will hear from them when I talk to them about our school environment and what works for them there. Again, the HighFlex model, very similar to what I described in our virtual setting, we apply in our in-person setting as well. So students can also fluctuate between virtual and in-person if they need to. We have a lot of students that do that. And we have some students that even combine between the two programs. So that offers some other flexibility too. Some are partial day virtual and partial day in-person, so we can make that work for them as well. So we also have and offer CTE and pathways for our students to get some exposure to different career fields. And a lot of those classes are more hands-on type of learning. So they also have that opportunity to participate in those options at our school. And again, we follow the quarter schedule with the 4 periods for our in-person students, exactly the same as we do for the virtual, like I described earlier. And I think one thing that I'm really proud of in our school is we provide multiple options to meet students' needs. Like we can sit and talk with a student and provide different opportunities based on what they need to accomplish their goals. And one other piece that's really unique to us, we've been very, very fortunate to be housed with a building on the CBC campus, Columbia Basin College. So we are working on increasing our partnership with the work that we do there to expose our kids to that opportunity, and also working with our community to extend options for our students to be able to go beyond high school, think to their future. and give them some more options over there. So we're very proud of the work we're doing there. We're getting ready to meet with them here very soon and talk about how we can expand our students' exposure to CBC. So. So one other thing that's really important at New Horizons is we really work on supporting our students and creating a safe environment. So one thing I just want to share a little bit more information about our school before I go over these points. Our CEE data, which is basically it's a survey that we give out every single year and collect data around our schools and how we're functioning in several areas. But one area we shine at New Horizons, which I think is really quite unusual for an alternative high school, is our students feel safe at our school, and that shines out every year. Our discipline data results show that our resources and supports that we have and the interventions we provide are resulting in reduced high-level behavior concerns. Our systems support students resolving conflicts and issues in a productive way that is restorative for all parties involved. And one shining example, and I almost hate saying this out loud, is we have not had a fight on our campus in over a year because of the work that we do and the relationships and connections we build. So I think that's pretty impressive in our school. And we are not just another school. I really believe this, that we're a transformative community where every student can discover their passion and purpose through individualized learning pathways, gain confidence in their abilities through small class sizes, and a close-knit learning community. They can build resilience to overcome obstacles, gaining real-world skills, foster a sense of belonging through supportive relationships and a positive, inclusive culture. And we experience that on our campus every day. Together, we're not just preparing students for graduation, we're preparing them for life beyond high school. That's what we do every day. But some of the ways we do this work, we take a trauma-skilled approach and really focus on restorative practices. So the way we do that is we consider possible contributing factors to our students that they may bring with them that might be creating some behavior concerns or need extra supports. So we really take that into consideration as we're looking at each individual student. And in our restorative practices work, we build connections and resolve issues together. That's really important in building community on our campus. The other thing that we're really fortunate to have, because we could not do this work without all the supports that we have on our campus, because they're critical to making sure our students have their needs met. So we are fortunate to have a social worker and a behavior interventionist. So she's really able to help coordinate any kind of supports our students need, whether that's housing, food insecurity, clothing, and she can really connect in with those community resources. So she's a great resource. We also have two student achievement specialists that are able to go find our students who aren't attending school regularly or kind of checking in with them and making sure they're, reaching their goals and achieving what they need to achieve. So we're very fortunate to have them as well. We also have a teen parent case manager who helps set up daycare for our kids or making sure that they can get to school and that they're having their needs met. And then we also have an on-site daycare, which is really beneficial for our teen parents to have access to that. We have infants, so if you come to our campus, you can see where we house our daycare, and we have infants up through about 1 year old, and then they transfer over to the CBC campus. So, it's really wonderful for our teen parents to have their little ones nearby, know that they're being taken care of, and then they can focus on what they need to during the day. We also are really focusing right now on post-high school goal setting and skills. It's essential for us right now. We have a goal that every single student on our campus has a post-high school goal, and we're connecting them with those next steps. Not just a goal, but like you've actually gone out and applied to the college or gone and talked with a union leader who maybe can help you figure out how to get your job and what skills you need to do that. So and we have a community engagement manager that's helping us do that, taking our students on field trips and exposing them to a lot of different opportunities and options. So that's very important at our school. We also have two special education teachers. We have one that focuses on our virtual students, and then we have one that focuses on our in-person students. So, and then we also have some para support that can go into our classrooms and help out our students who happen to have an IEP. So we're very fortunate to have them. And then One thing that I think is really essential is we really focus on building a culture of belonging, making sure every student feels seen and heard and feels supported on our campus. And then multi-tiered systems of support, that's a word in schooling that we often use, but basically it means that we're going to meet the needs of all the students no matter what level they're at. Some students come in and we can, just being on the smaller environment, help support them, and that's what they need. And then we have some kids that need some additional help and support, and we just figure out what that looks like for each individual student. So we're also very fortunate to have clubs, activities, and then I think a lot of our students who come to us, they have a unique opportunity to have a leadership opportunity they may not have had in the larger high school, because we are a little smaller, and so there's some unique ways we get to kind of see students and say, hey, we really believe that you can step into a leadership role, and that helps them to engage in school. So those are some of the ways that we support our students. And then I just wanted to end with, we just really very much appreciate the school board's support and the district's support in building a future where every student, no matter their journey, can succeed and flourish, because we can't do this work without all of your support. So I just wanted to say thank you for that. And I'm going to start our enrollment process because since I'm standing here, I'll go first, and then I'll let my colleagues come up and share what that looks like for their schools. So at New Horizons, I would say most of our referrals come from within the school district. So from our comprehensive high schools, the counselors at the Boundary High School would fill out an application. It's an electronic process. And then we basically process that, and we meet with every single student. We have a pretty robust intake and onboarding system for any new student that comes to us. So we meet with them individually and talk to them about what their needs are. So that's done within the district. So the counselor would fill out an application. But families can also directly enroll through their website. And in our school, students enroll throughout the year. We kind of have rolling enrollment constantly. We're getting ready to start a new quarter, so we'll be getting several new students in here very soon. But all throughout the quarter, we will continue to take students. So it's not just like one time in the year. So that's our enrollment process. And I'm going to turn it over to Seth Johnson to talk about how they're going to be enrolling for Orion. So thank you for your time.
So as both Principal Benyon and I have mentioned, the enrollment process for both Delta High School and Orion High School are lottery-based. Our applications are currently open, and there's been a great deal of work being done between both Delta and Orion to inform our community and our current 8th graders of the opportunities that they have as out beyond the comprehensive high schools. Delta and Orion have been side by side in presenting to all of the 8th graders across our district. We're in classrooms co-presenting to be able to really share the opportunities that are out there. It was very important to Principal Benyon and myself that this was a collaborative approach. It wasn't so much competing for numbers as it was really wanting to provide the information to our community, our families, our students, so they can make an informed decision. And so that way we can get the students that are best suited for our campus and campuses and for the opportunities that we offer. I'm really excited. This is the first time that we've enrolled students at Orion. And so this is the first time we've had the opportunity to go out into the 8th grade classes and then in the community to present. And it's been a lot of fun for me to watch the response. And the response has been very, very positive. Our application opened right before winter break. We're in the middle of our middle school visits right now, and as of 12:30 this afternoon, Orion has 112 applications. We're looking from anywhere from 150 to 180 students that will make up our freshman class. Really excited to see the numbers coming in and seeing how well represented all of our middle schools are when it comes to applying to be able to attend Orion.
Yes, and we too are open. Our application is open until February 14th, and I did want to emphasize that bottom part. This is students not selected in the lottery or put on a wait list. So in the past, we've had hundreds of students apply, so that means quite a few of them do not get in. And then, let's say something happens in the ninth grade and kids move to other places, and so we've gone down below our enrollment number. We go back to that lottery poll the sophomore year, and we'll enroll students based on if they did apply and didn't get in. So that might be questions that you might receive also is, if I don't get in the first chance, is there another opportunity? So yes, that would be true. They could. So thank you very much for your time. Do you have questions for us?
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Benyon. Thank you, Ms. Hitchman and Mr. Johnson. Do we have any questions or comments from the board for these amazing principals? So I was wondering, once a student is accepted to either Delta or Orion or New Horizons, is transportation provided?
Yes. Yes, for me.
Yes, for Orion, we're currently working with our transportation department to determine what our schedule for pickup and drop-off will look like as a new school, but absolutely.
And for New Horizons, our students take Ben Franklin Transit, so that's how we transport our students currently.
So with that transport, except those students who are in our teen parenting program where we provide transportation to moms and babies. Or parents and babies, not just moms.
So if, with the transportation piece, do the buses go all over the district and bring them just to Orion, or do they transport them from their local high schools?
So the tentative plan, based on the meetings that I've had with our transportation department, is that our students would be directly routed from their neighborhoods to Orion in the morning. And then in the afternoon, they would be transported back to their home high schools, where if they required transportation from home to home from their home high school, they would be provided that from there. I really like looking at it this way and following this approach, because I feel like it really creates opportunities for students to be able to go back to their home boundary high school to be able to participate in the clubs and athletics that we wouldn't be able to offer at Orion.
I love that idea too. That's fantastic.
So we're just opposite than that, because we start at 8:30. So students will ride the bus from their home to their home high school. Then the bus picks them all up at their home high schools and brings them to Delta, because they can get there at 8:30. And then the school buses in the afternoon take them home. So just different.
So a financial question that I'm not going to assume that you know it or don't know it, but once a student is enrolled in Delta, do they become FTE for Pasco, or do they stay in their home district in Kennewick and Richland?
So we collect FTE from each of the districts based on how many students are enrolled in Delta. Kennewick sends us money, Richland sends us money, and then the Pasco money is all collaborated together.
Okay.
Delta's the only one I can sub in, because I sub for Richland, so I can sub for a Richland teacher. So it's been the only school I have been able to sub in Pasco School District, and that's been somewhat satisfying. So anyway, and a great school.
And then, Seth, can you talk a little bit about mastery-based learning and what that means? Because I know that Casey said at Delta they have standards-based learning, and I understand what that means. But what does mastery-based learning look like at the high school level?
It's a similar approach to that standards-based learning, where really we're looking at defining what it is, what skills and standards that students need to show mastery of, and as they show mastery of that, that's when credit is awarded. It's more taking a look through it through the lens of mastery of the skills and the standards, more so than it is as a final percentage of points possible in a class. So it's really more focused on just showing the ability to display the mastery of the skills that are associated with each of our classes.
But still different from New Horizons, where they have they can go at a more accelerated pace. They would still stay on a 4-year track.
Yes, and I think that there's a lot of similarities in the mastery-based approach that we all take, and there may be a little bit of a wrinkle that makes us unique.
One more question for Ms. Hitchin. So I know a teacher at New Horizons, and they teach Saturday school. So is Saturday school something that's offered just for students that need to come in because they haven't been able to attend during the week, or there are classes that are just offered on Saturdays? How does that work?
Great question. Yeah, we do offer Saturday school, and it's completely optional for students, just as another opportunity to come in and work with teachers. So as a matter of fact, right now, we're going to be offering Saturday school this Saturday, so the students are signing up who want to come. So it's just an opportunity for them to come, and if they want to get caught up on coursework, they can do that. If they're even caught up on classes, they're more than welcome to join us. It's just some students really like coming in on a Saturday when the environment's a little bit different, and we provide lunch, and it's just, and they kind of all work in one area, and all the teachers are there together and gathered in one area. So it's just an opportunity for any students. There's no requirement but it is an opportunity for them to come and get caught up on courses or have some extra time with some teachers. So, yeah.
It is really great that we, not at just New Horizons, but at all the schools, so we're offering so many opportunities for our students to be successful. You know, education is not a one-size-fits-all experience, and it's great that we're offering so many of these opportunities to our students. Are there any more questions or comments from the board?
I did have one question for New Horizons. So you had mentioned, and I apologize, because maybe I should already know the answer to this. So you guys have a 4-period schedule, did I understand that correctly?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And you're on a quarter-based.
Right.
So how does that, based on the norm, I don't want to say normal, but the schedule that we have at our more comprehensive high schools, are the classes longer then?
Yes.
To meet that time? Okay.
That's right.
And
Yes.
then how do you guys feel more, because, I mean, typically, how do you guys meet the high school requirements that are required for graduation in that 4-period class versus, what are we at, 6 or 7 normal? And maybe I should know this already, I apologize.
No, that's totally fine. No, it's a great question. So our students are in class for an hour and a half, and our teachers have identified all of the priority standards that are required. So our students still have to meet all of the same high school requirements in order to receive credit for the courses. So because that's why we have longer class periods for our students, and then they have to meet, and again, like Mr. Johnson was sharing, they have to show mastery of those standards before they receive credit. But you could walk into some of our classrooms, and like we have students that are, and I said we have rolling enrollment, so some students come in the middle of a quarter, but they can start the class because of the fact that we have that flexible learning model, but they still have to show, again, mastery of standards in order to earn that credit. But that's how we do it in our building, because they're with our teachers for an hour and a half period of time, so they are with the teachers for longer periods for that reason, so that they can earn that credit at the end of the quarter.
How many credits can a New Horizons high school student earn in a year?
In a year,
Like junior year, how many credits could I earn?
like if a student started with us at the start of a school year, so it's 2 credits per quarter, because that's our school-wide audacious goal. I should have shared that. Our goal is that all students earn 2 credits every quarter, so they can earn 8 credits by the end of 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, my math is, I'm mathing here on the spot. So yeah, 8 credits in a school year. And a lot of our students, we kind of talk about the 4th quarter magic that happens on our campus.
Can I ask a question
Yeah,
before you go
absolutely.
into the magic?
Yes.
So how many credits do our students in a comprehensive high school earn in a year? 7.5. There was a little illustration I was doing there with my questions because I wasn't 100% sure. So
Yes.
I think that's kind of where you were going, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, talk to us about the magic.
Magic.
Yes.
So 4th quarter magic, we had a brand new counselor with us last year, and I was talking to him about the magic, because I'm like, you watch these students and what they're going to do 4th quarter in this building. And oftentimes we have students who will earn more than that in a quarter, because they all of a sudden the light bulb turns on, they start seeing success, and they will just thrive, and so they can pass a class and we can move them on to the next class. They can pass a class, we can move them on to the next class. So you will see that acceleration with many of our students, and that's how they get to that graduation stage at the end of the year, because they can earn more than that in a year, and many students do. They can earn multiple credits, especially at the end of the year, you'll see that occurring with
Yeah,
students, so that's a great question.
Any board members haven't been through that school, I would recommend that you get a tour
Please.
of it. It is a remarkable place, and it's very unique to the other Pasco schools. Honestly, my favorite graduations are New Horizons. I love to hear the success stories of the kids that sometimes have some of the biggest challenges, but have overcome the most. So it's a remarkable place, and there is a special energy about it.
There really is. People talk about that when they walk in, and I don't know how to explain it or describe it other than just come and see it. It really is a wonderful school that we're very, very fortunate. So, yeah, great question. Thank you.
I do have a few questions. How many kids are at New Horizons School now?
We're averaging around 380 students total. Around, and again, I'm giving you averages here, around 100 of those students are virtual. So in person, around 300 is what we're looking at.
Have you had to turn away kids so far, or have you been able to have the space that you need for the kids that want to be in New Horizons?
Another really good question. So what we typically do, if we have to, at some points in this year, we have had to start a wait list because we have, our class sizes are full. And so, but typically we get the students in pretty quickly because, you know, we may have some space because we have students who graduate in the middle of the year. We have multiple reasons why there might be room available. So typically they don't have to wait terribly long if that does occur. But that can happen at times, yeah.
Okay, I didn't even know that you ever had a wait list until you mentioned that. And I'm like, oh, wow, I thought that so far we had been able to accommodate all. So that's interesting that there is more of a need for that. Mr. Johnson, so you said 175 to, how many applicants do you want? 175 to what?
In between 150 and 180.
Oh, 150
You know,
and
when we're at capacity at Orion, we're built for around 600 students. And so understanding that, you know, when I have talked to, you know, my colleague here, Mrs. Benyon, about our other choice schools and their experience, you know, we understand that there's students that ultimately make the decision to return to their boundary high school. And so 180 would be a great number for us to start with our incoming freshman class.
Which is great. And I don't think it's any insult in any way, shape, or form that these schools are not for every kid.
Absolutely.
And sometimes they get there and they realize,
Absolutely.
this is not for me.
Right.
So I think it's great that you do that. Casey, how many kids do we tend to having more kids than the other two high schools? Or how many kids do you know how many Pasco kids are at high school?
So there's 422 kids total at Delta, and 170, I believe, right now are Pasco School District students. So we have a percentage of students from each one of the districts that we try to keep our students at.
How many kids do you turn away from Pasco every year? Do you know that on average?
So in the past, we took in 300 plus applications, and we're only accepting, 120 students. So we said no to quite a few students, which is why this is a perfect opportunity for them to get to have Orion.
Do you anticipate that there will be a few less now that we have another alternative, I shouldn't say alternative, career and college high school?
I think what we've heard is a lot of students are applying to both schools, which is good because then they have options. We have parent meetings that are going to happen. We have, different opportunities that will happen in the next few months, which will just give them more education, and then they can make an educated decision because the applications close in February. We will notify probably the 1st of March. And so then kids can, they have a little bit of time to think about it.
Great. Do they have, on that application process, do they have my first choice is Orion, my second choice is?
We have different applications, totally, yeah.
That might be something that you might want to add because there might be situations, anyway. I know that right now they're separate, but it would be nice to get the child where they would most want to be anyway. So that's really fascinating. My last question is for Mr. Johnson. And so I followed Delta. Delta used to have a separate place on the OSPI, like it was a regular high school, but now they don't have a separate place on the OSPI. I don't know when they changed that. I liked following them because they used to outperform every single high school in the Tri-Cities. I do not know if that is still the case today, but because I can no longer follow them. So, yeah, and that's because. And is that because it's a program high school and they changed that up, or? Okay, anyway, that was just kind of odd. I really liked that they had a Delta spot. I don't even remember when, anyway, and maybe I got those numbers from someplace else, and I'm imagining it.
It's never been on the OSPI website.
Okay.
It's a separate school because it doesn't have a school code.
Okay.
So at some point, maybe the districts were tracking data differently.
Okay.
But it's not on the OSPI
And
website.
maybe that's what it is. So I naturally have a few concerns about doing this project-based learning as we make sure that the kids get all of the standards put forth by the state of Washington and graduate in that. So this standard-based learning, even at Orion, from what I understand, is even more project-based and more innovative and different than Delta. Are you confident that you can get our kids at that mastery level in those different standards so that they will meet those expectations?
Absolutely confident. I have a fantastic planning team that's doing great work right now in ensuring that the instruction being done in an interdisciplinary format and the project opportunities that we will provide at Orion will meet the needs of our students, that they'll be able to have the same opportunities to be able to perform, and that we'll be able to see them excel and prepare themselves for their future.
Great. Well, I love that confident answer. Thank you. And Mr. Johnson, I absolutely loved your mission statement. I loved how innovative it was and how well it tied in the aviation, lingo in it. So it was very creative. You can congratulate your team.
They did great work.
Becky, could you tell the story of your shawl that you're wearing?
Oh my gosh.
Do you mind?
No.
Now that I've put you on the spot in front of everyone? And no one on TV is watching either, and it won't be recorded on YouTube either.
Okay. Yes, I'd be very happy to share the story of my shawl. So this was gifted to me by my staff when I was getting ready to interview for the role at New Horizons High School to be the principal. And it's just very meaningful because so I wear it at special occasions like tonight, and so they all signed it. So it's like they have my back, and like I have their back. So it's just very, very meaningful to me. So I took it to all steps of the interview process, and so I wear it at graduate. I wear it at special occasions related to New Horizons when I get to share what an amazing school we are. So.
And my understanding is the print matters because it's supposed to kind of
Like a
emulate the
phoenix. Yes.
Aw.
Yes.
I know, right?
Right.
That's just not to tell you.
I know. Thank you for asking.
And I love that is the perfect mascot for New Horizons.
Yes.
It really is.
Mr. Johnson, I have a question. Does OSPI have to approve your finalized curriculum for Orion?
That's a great question. I don't believe so. No. We'll go through. No. There we go. There's our answer.
Even though
We will go through an
we pick one of them?
accreditation process.
Sorry, yeah.
We'll go through our accreditation process to be an accredited high school, but that would not.
And OSPI stamps it and says you're accredited and all that stuff?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Because I thought we had to choose one of the curriculums through Washington State. We don't have to choose one of their curriculums. Okay.
And then I have one last question with when you were talking about that you were going out to all the middle schools. I was trying to think back into when I was in middle school. I mean, I would have loved the choice between having 3 different high schools and 2 other technical high schools. But I was just kind of wondering. I guess my experience might have been a little bit skewed by COVID, not being able to get presentations on that. But what exactly are you guys doing when you guys are going into the middle schools? Is it like an assembly, class by class? You have to sign up for it, or?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're going class by class. The high schools or the middle schools have picked a subject area that we hit every classroom in to ensure that every 8th grade student hears the same thing. The Delta brings students to share their experience. And so, I know probably as an 8th grader, they probably enjoy hearing the experience more from a high school student than they do having to listen to me talk. But unfortunately, this year I don't have students yet, and so I'm coming in and presenting the information that we have to really be able to highlight the work that we'll do. It's been really a great experience to be able to watch them present, to be able to present with them, to be able to get to know students, and to be able to really present both options and let them really make an informed decision.
With students that are applying to multiple schools, I imagine there's a process in place where you cross-reference, so like a student doesn't get accepted to 2 schools and then and then we have more space open and don't have to like create wait lists when students are double enrolled.
Principal Benyon and I have been working on what that looks like to ensure that, when students are accepted to both, that we have a process in place to be able to inform them and let them make their decision.
Danica, do you have anything to add?
I have a lot of friends personally that go to New Horizon and Delta, so I'm aware of how a lot of it works. I just like to give compliments to both those schools, especially New Horizons, because I do have one of my best friends who goes over there, and our sophomore year they were struggling with keeping up, and now that I talked to them about being at New Horizons, it seems like a wonderful fit, and they actually really do enjoy being at school now, which I think is an accomplishment, because that friend that I have specifically really didn't want to go to our high school when we were there, but hearing how they do at New Horizons and then hearing you present tonight was just kind of like, it hit me in a soft spot. But I really do like the work that's going into our 3 choice high schools, especially with Delta. That was like, I have a lot of friends that also go there, and then with Orion, I'm kind of jelly that I didn't have that as a kid, because I really would have loved the experience for health sciences. So I think it's a wonderful experience that our incoming freshmen get these opportunities.
Oh, I'm glad you shared that. Well, thank you so much to our Choice High School principals, Mr. Johnson, Ms. Benyon, and Ms. Hitchman. It's been a pleasure hearing from you tonight. And we will be, Ms. Whitney, heading to
An executive session under 4231-101G for the review of a performance of a public employee and I for litigation. I'm expecting it to take probably about 30 minutes.
Okay. And then we will be back here at 6:30 for our regularly scheduled board meeting.